welcome to today's video. So today's part 2 of the Q&A. I have 3 questions and we're just gonna get started because why wait? So let's start. Number 1, it's what do you like about the church you go to now versus the one before? I'm gonna say something. This is not me saying I don't like that church anymore. I like this church, because that is not true. I will always like the church I went to before. That is where I was raised. That is where I grew up. I spent pretty much my whole childhood there. My teenage years, my youth years, I was very involved. Me and my husband both grew up in that church. So that church is always going to be a part of me a little bit, because that was like pretty much my whole life. Obviously, there comes a point in life where you're like, okay, it's time to find a different church. And obviously, I'm not going to be listing pros or cons or anything like that. This is very like a general and like broad answer. One of the things we like, and one of the things that we were kind of looking for, is to have an all English service. It's really nice because we understand it, the kids understand, the kids go to Sunday school and it's all in English. So all the lessons and everything is in English. And no matter how hard we tried to teach them Russian, they learned English way too quick. So yeah, so we wanted to go to an all English church, which the one before, a lot of the people there, Russian was their first language. So it was hard to connect. And just in general, sometimes like the services or sermons that you would hear, it's hard to understand fully in Russian versus fully in English, which also leads me to the next one. We love that it's more of a younger generation church. There is more options for fully English Bible studies, life groups, like different small events. And I feel like that's really, really nice because you can connect to a lot of people that are even your own age. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of like the 2 main things that we like now versus before. Okay, did you have all your babies through C-sections? How was recovery? Do all your future babies need to also be C-sections? So yes, all 3 of my babies were C-sections. I had good recoveries each time, and they were all very, very similar, but they were still different at the same time. Because the first time I had preeclampsia and I got induced, and I had a really, really long labor, which resulted in a C-section. And then the second time around, I started having contractions on my own at home. I went to get checked and the baby's heart rate was dropping, so they had to get the baby out, which also I had a C-section. And then third time around was like our own personal preference, and we decided that it'd be best to have a C-section, and we had a planned one, which honestly, it was such a good decision. We do not regret our scheduled C-section. Love overall how it all turned out, but recovery would take like up to 2 weeks, I would say. And I feel like the first time I was very, very swollen. That took a while for me, like for it to kind of like settle down, because I was on a lot of meds. I was really, really drugged. The second time around, it was easier. And then the third time around was probably my easiest recovery. I wouldn't say like easiest, but it was definitely the quickest. I feel like I felt back to myself way quicker than with the other 2. Now it says, do all your future babies need to be C-sections? So this is different for every person because it varies on everything. Like it varies on how you deliver, like your previous babies. It varies how your incision looks. So I feel like if I were to have another baby, I would be able to do a VBAC, but I would also be able to do a C-section. It would be my 4th C-section, which is like a bigger risk too. So literally all comes down to your experiences, your deliveries, and like your incision, because you can have a horizontal incision or you can have a vertical incision. And if you have a vertical incision, then you cannot have any more natural births because of the way your incision is. And there's obviously certain risks with the way your incision is. Obviously, like, I'm not a doctor. This is just like from my own personal, experiences. Obviously, you would have to talk to your doctor and like obviously see what the best plan for you is. But since I did have all my incisions horizontally, I am able to do a VBAC and I am able to have a C-section if I want to. And another thing for recovery, if you have a C-section, do not try to bounce back. Your body needs time to heal after such a major surgery. And I was telling this to myself as much as I could the third time around, because I feel like the first and second times around, I was just trying to get back on my feet and try to do everything as fast as I can. I was not letting my body fully heal and fully recover. And I know everybody is different. I know that some people feel best or better quicker than others, but I heard of a girl that said she went to church 1 week after she had a C-section because she felt good. And I was like still hunched over walking after a week of having my surgery. So I'm like, I cannot imagine being at church a week after having my baby and having my C-section because I was still in really bad pain. I feel like if I were in her shoes, I would probably take another week to rest and fully heal and recover because you literally had a major surgery and you need to heal not only on the outside, but you need to heal on the inside and you need to heal mentally, especially if you have like little kids at home, not just a newborn, but other little kids at home. Because for me, the third time around, I had little kids at home that also still need me, but at the same time, they were older. It was a little bit easier because Artem was home and he was, occupying them while I was with the baby and I was trying to take care of myself. But I feel like the third time around, I really tried to rest as much as I could. I tried to just take it easy and not bounce back. And I feel like taking like a supplement would really, really benefit you also because that's what I did. And I feel like it really, really helped me in the long run. You obviously don't notice it right away, but in the long run, you're probably like, oh, wow, that actually helped me, which I took something and I actually really, really liked it. So literally do not rush. Like when you have a C-section, do not rush. Take the time to heal because I promise you, you'll feel so much better after you fully recover versus when you don't recover all the way. Like, yes, it's painful. I took probably painkillers for the first like 1.5 weeks, and then after that I was all good. And I'm glad we went the route we did with our third because it was a planned C-section. It was so much more less chaotic. It was calm. We were prepped, like we were ready to go. We knew exactly when she was coming. My recovery went way better than I thought. I feel like overall I was just so nervous about having a third, but it was just so much better than I thought and everything worked out for the best. Yeah. Last one is, how do you stay sane with 3 kids? I don't even know how to answer this one because I just don't know what to say. Like, I just make the best of it and I just do what I gotta do. Like, the most important thing for me is to get out of the house. And I try to get out of the house at least 3 times a week with all the kids, even when I'm having a slow week. No matter how much I like staying at home, I cannot stay at home for too long. And my kids can't either. My mentality didn't change from 2 kids to 3 kids. Don't get me wrong, I was nervous. I was actually really, really nervous to go from 2 to 3 because I'm like, how am I going to be going there and there and there with a baby or with a third child? Like, it's going to be so much more than just having 2. The outcome was like so much better than I thought it was going to be. And I'm like, no matter what, like, I'm going to have to do it because obviously, like, I'm going to have 3. I'm not going to have 2. I'm going to have 3. So I'm going to be, doing my best. Like, I don't want to stop my routine with 2 just because I have a third baby now. So I try getting out even on a slow week at least 3 times a week, even if it's for a car ride, just to go get coffee or just to have the kids nap in the car, just to get out of the house even when I don't have plans that week, so that I can get a mental refresh, so that they can get a mental refresh, so that they can get a change of scenery. I love getting out of the house too. Obviously, when I have a busier week, it's a busier week, there's appointments or errands to run. I have no choice sometimes but to take all the kids too, because if Artem is working or he's on a work trip, then obviously I have no choice but to take all the kids. Let me tell you, it is hard. Like, it is hard, but you just have to make it work. There's no easy way to say it. You just have to make it work and take all the kids if you have to, because if I had to wait for my husband to come home all week before he could help me, which meant me being stuck at home all week and not getting out just because Artem isn't there to help me, I'd probably go crazy. And this is a perfect example. I wanted to go to Trader Joe's for the longest time already because I haven't had a chance to go there. Trader Joe's is far from me. I have Trader Joe's in one way, which is 30 minutes, and then I have Trader Joe's the other way, which is also 30 minutes. And I usually go to the one that's like 2 minutes closer to me. And I'm like, I really do not want to take all the kids. Like, I really do not want to take all the kids. I want to drop them off somewhere. I was like debating whether to drop them off at my mom's house or whatnot. Artem was at work. I'm like, I'm not gonna wait to go to Trader Joe's just because I can't leave the kids. So I'm like, let me just pack up all the kids and go to Trader Joe's. And that's exactly what I did. I'm like, I know it's gonna be a little bit hectic, but whatever. I want to go because I've been waiting already so long to go. So I packed up all the kids. We have a doona, which is really, really nice. So Austin was strolling Ella in the doona. Isla was in the cart, and honestly, it wasn't even that bad. They do really, really well at the store. So I got my groceries, got what I needed. Yes, like I had to like tell Austin not to crash into things, but whatever. He does a good job. The doona is small, so it's like really easy to fit into like small places. So it's nice that they're able to push the baby, but whatever. Like, I got my grocery shopping done. It was nice. Like, it was way better than I thought. And that's it. Like, and we went home and I'm like, wow, I went to Trader Joe's today with all the kids and it wasn't as bad as I thought. So I feel like I I just do it. Like I do it because I have no choice. And what also helps is that Austin and Isla are so much older than Ella. So if they need to, you know, play with her or keep her occupied, it's so nice because it makes it easier on me. And if I need to, I will drop them off. I will go and have me time because obviously I need that. Every week I need that. So that's another thing that keeps me sane is dropping off the kids, going home, doing a few hours of cleaning alone, or going out and just sitting in the car with a cup of coffee by myself in peace and quiet, or going to get my nails done or whatever. Obviously, like, I get out with the kids, but I also leave the kids and get out by myself because I need that too. So, but anyways, yeah, those are all the questions, and I'll see you guys in the next